Ladies and gentlemen, folks and friends, allow me to be your experienced arms server today as we take a look at some of the finest fists on the market. Now let's not waste another second and dive right into it. If you're looking for a practice pet that'll engage adversaries, always return to your side, and doesn't possess any real sentience, you can't go wrong with a set of Thunderbirds. After these synthetic subordinates are configured to a pair of fists, their keeper need only throw a punch to instruct them to leave their knuckle nests and pursue prey. They have a bit of a curve to them, but they always stick their landings. Unlike most curve-type arms, these birds are capable of not only twisting left and right, but up and down too, giving them some swell versatility on the battlefield. And as their name suggests, they also pack an elemental punch and can shock any foe into submission if you charge them up enough. If their zippy zeal and artificial loyalty isn't enough to win you over though, they sport a sleek blue sheen that'll surely dazzle. They aren't the easiest arms to master, but once you have their unique flight patterns figured out, Thunderbirds are truly the nest. If the opposition keeps sidestepping your swipes though, the Slamamander is a set of arms sure to solve those woes. Better known in other corners of the globe as the Viper or Mamba, these curvy slappers glide through the air with the elegance of a snake and extend a strike with the force of a whip. Try as you might to throw your fist dead ahead, if you enter the arena with these serpentine mittens, every punch will land on your opponent's sides. Charge them up, and you can even send adversaries spiraling thanks to their wind attribute. They've seen plenty of downgrades to keep them viable in the competitive circuit, like decreased homing accuracy and retraction rates, but they've experienced flux when it comes to their extension speed. The lab technicians couldn't figure out how fast they should stretch, so they did some shifting back and forth over 3 iterations. While they might not be for everyone, you could say they settled on a configuration that makes combat a breeze. But if those seem a little too airy for you, we have something that'll have you feeling the weight of the dead. Surely dreamt up by their namesake, Skullies are formidable fists with just the right dose of spookiness. Throw a punch while they're loaded onto your arms, and these brutal buzzards shoot straight ahead with frightening speed. You'll want to make sure your aim is accurate though, because once they're in motion, these birds don't sway much from their course. The technicians who developed Skullies claim they were once more fleshed out weapons, but they found that stripping them down to the bone increased their speed and strength. That wasn't good enough for them however, so they applied a few patches since their debut to buff up damage output from rushes and charges. Charging actually reveals their true colors too, and that intense purple glow isn't just for show either. It shows how contact will render its target poisoned. If you have a bone to pick with someone sporting these suckers, you'll want to keep some distance to stay safe and see their beaks coming. Get good at sidestepping though, and they're not much of a threat. If you have horrible aim and a fondness for fire though, you can't go wrong with the Retorcher. Instead of throwing 2 fists and hoping for the best, lousy launchers can fire a barrage of 6 to nick anyone within a wide window. And thanks to a manufacturing error that screwed in their revolvers wrong, charging them up before a strike will leave your rivals with some serious burns too. Curiously, there's been documented cases of these arms freezing while airborne under certain conditions, but they've been patched up to prevent further incidents in the field. They've seen plenty of tweaks to their performance along the way too, like an increased retraction speed and a shorter firing rate. Despite the risks flaming fists present to friends and foes alike, spectators always welcome a weapon that can light up the stage. That being said, some of them come to see strength, so if you want to strike fear into your adversaries and have the power to smash your competition into the dirt, just break out a set of Megaton arms and no one will question your might. These bulky brutes are as heavy as their name suggests, and while they don't have an attribute to call their own, their bearers can block incoming strikes with nothing more than a flick of the wrist. Actually, landing a good hook can be a bit of a challenge thanks to their speed, but they've been steadily improved with each new addition to be faster at retracting and charging. How much deceleration they experience after colliding with inferior arms has also been dropped, making them a real nightmare for anyone going against them with a smaller pair. Few arms offer the strength and size these bruisers bring to the battlefield, but they're certainly not for everyone. Their weight might not matter much while they're gliding gracefully towards the enemy, but it's a different story when you're stuck lugging them around. And if that's too much for you, our next set shaves off the heft and delivers something a little scrappier. Built from the leftover scraps of superior creations and inspired by a mechanical monstrosity, Lokjaws are an adorable set of arms with a slick silver sheen. They're the only ones classified as unique that don't boast the poison attribute, making them the only true weapons under that category, and they're as volatile as their appearance suggests, unleashing orbs of explosive energy whenever they're charged up. Not only do their projectiles break the rules of engagement, but they betray reality itself. Unlike their contemporaries, Lokjaw's detonations don't damage the dealer, allowing them to be dished out without restraint. If that didn't make them feel overpowered enough, every update since their release has seen some manner of upgrade to their performance, from increased retraction speed to faster rush attacks. While their oral hygiene might be a bit lacking and their one eye short of being normal, you'll love how well these bad boys dominate the battlefield. But maybe that's not your style. Perhaps you like something a little more defensive. Are you tired of being an active participant in your matches? Well, just let your limbs fall limp and leave the Guardians to handle things in the ring. Once you fling your fists forward, these tribal faces lunge forth and inch their way towards your foes. Stand behind them and the opposition will have no choice but to hopelessly throw punches to wear them down, or shuffle around them. Like any good set of arms, the Guardians display how much damage they've accrued through glowing indicators, so any opponent can easily gauge how much they need to strike before real damage can be dealt. You won't find better defensive equipment on the market though. Goofy as their grins might be, Guardians are capable of blocking any strike regardless of their weight class, but if passive play isn't your preference, just give them a wiggle after they're airborne and they'll track down the opposition at a gingerly pace. It might take them a bit of time to make contact, but a gaze like that creeping towards you is sure to leave even the bravest warriors paralyzed. Now you could call that a cheap tactic, but those prices can dip lower, because if you're the type who isn't afraid to tarnish the spirit of competitive arms, you'd be in good company with a set of dragons. Slip these bad boys on and forget all about practicing your jabs, because they hone in on anyone you deem dangerous without any direction. Just throw a couple fists with reckless abandon and watch as they float in a position and fry the flesh of your enemies. Those lasers of theirs spread heat over a wide area too, making them perfect for family barbecues or burning up the dance floor if fighting isn't your forte. For fisticuff fans who prefer to be in control though, their laser can be manually adjusted on the fly with a subtle twist to either side, so you can torch what you want, where you want. Dating back an unbelievable 4,000 years, the dragons are a little old-fashioned, but their ability to evoke fear with every sear is invaluable and truly stands the test of time. If you want to forego fear and focus on fanaticism though, the Biffler is just the set of arms for you. Bring them into battle and share your admiration for everyone's favorite commentator by smacking foes in the face with his illustrious image. The Biffler boasts a vertical spread, making them effective for splattering airborne foes, and they're lightweight enough for even the weakest combatants to sport them with pride. Throw your fists too fiercely though, and all that excess ink will raise their weight class to the medium tier, so you'll want to finish any flurries in a hurry. Give the Biffler a charge, and they'll really leave an impression, permitting you an opportunity to briefly blind your adversaries with your love of Biff. Their utility even goes beyond battle. You can mark your mail for shipping, label checklists in style, or just expand the Biff brand. Their retraction speed has seen 2 buffs since their debut too, so whether you're up against a legion of letters or a rabble of rivals, these arms will serve you well. Now that's all I've got for you today. There's certainly more sets to check out, but I think this selection serves as a perfect primer. So which pairs would you want to put to work on the world stage? And which ones did I leave behind the counter that you would have liked to see? Whether or not any of the sales pitches won you over, I just hope you walk away today feeling armed with knowledge.